Before running any AI operation, we need to add to the list of preprocessor constants this one, because there are going to be clients that don't want AI in any capacity, so this preprocessor constant will allow to fully remove any AI operation. Before starting, it's up to you to obtain API keys for the AI LLM providers you want to use: OpenAI, Mistral, Gemini, DeepSeek, OpenRouter, and the text-to-speech providers, 11 Labs, Speechify. From here on, we'll assume you have keys for these services. Copy the files onto the machine where you want to host the AI endpoints. In my case, I use a Jetson Orin on my local network, but you can run the scripts locally just as well. They aren't demanding, since they only act as a bridge to the AI providers. In this file, you will need to configure these environment variables, which are the API keys of your AI providers. When you first run the script, Python server, aienglish.py, it will complain about missing libraries. Just install them one by one until the script runs successfully. Copy the local address, then select the scriptable object by selecting the main controller, prefab, in the scene and opening the AI data property. Select the server chat GPT property and paste the address there. Now run the project in the Unity editor, open the settings, and log in with these credentials, which are valid for the MySQL sample data you imported earlier. In the case it didn't work, check these prefabs in the scene and update the URL to this one. Once you're logged in, you can access the AI section. Here you can choose which LLM provider and text-to-speech provider to use. At this stage, we'll pick the cheapest models. Forget about OpenRouter, since it adds a cost we don't want during development. We'll test the system with OpenAI using the GPT 5.4 Nano model, and Speechify as the text-to-speech provider, since it's 100 times cheaper than 11 Labs. We press Set Provider and check the AI Python server's log to confirm the endpoint was triggered correctly. Before running the test, we need to review a set of parameters and instructions used in our AI requests. Open this file. This file contains all the application text for the different languages. It also includes some configuration for the AI providers at the top. For example, the narration tag shown here contains the voice IDs we'll use from Speechify. Just go to the Voices section of Speechify and pick the IDs of the ones you want. The speech tag is for the Google Text-to-Speech service. This service is used to reply to visitors' questions, and it's even cheaper than Speechify. The last tag to check is AI_instructions, where the museum can provide the information it wants to use for visitors' replies. Before running the AI test, we need to add these two preprocessor constants. This enables the text-to-speech functionality. Finally, we can run the AI test. We start the Unity editor and play any floor. Once in the museum area, select the button in the top left corner. Since speech recognition only works on mobile devices, we'll type the question instead. After a few seconds, the LLM responds first, and then text-to-speech generation completes the process, playing the response back to the user. We can ask follow-up questions, since it remembers the conversation.
During the Triassic period, the dominant life was primarily reptiles. Early Triassic ecosystems were often dominated by archosaurs, the group that would later give rise to dinosaurs and pterosaurs, and by large amphibians in some regions. As the Triassic progressed, archosaurs became increasingly prevalent, and dinosaurs diversified, especially in the late Triassic, making them among the most prominent terrestrial animals.
Now it's time to test the Tour Edition mode. First, we switch this toggle to work in development mode. Stop the editor and play again. The button to edit content will now appear. Press it and select the floor you want to edit. Once in the museum area, select any POI and edit its narration. Since we selected English as the application language, we'll change the text in the English field. After changing the English text, press the Play Audio button to generate the audio for the new text using Speechify.
Many years ago, this place where we are right now was a sea. Incredible animals were living in this warm sea.
The next step is to translate the text into the other languages and generate their audio tracks.
Hace muchos años, este lugar donde estamos ahora era un mar. Increíbles animales vivían en este cálido mar.
Il y a de nombreuses années, l'endroit où nous nous trouvons en ce moment était une mer. Des animaux incroyables vivaient dans cette mer chaude.
Remember to save your progress. With this final test, we've verified all the places where we use AI. It's up to you to make a build for mobile devices and test speech recognition.